They know that they lost you. They know that they ran out of time. I got ticking clock. They know that. They're so aware that they're not going to find a way back into your energy. But they like can't stop themselves from trying from well, first of all, they're daydreaming about you all the time. They're still trying to imagine this future. They're trying to imagine any way possible that they can find a way in, okay? For some of you guys, they're very much all over your social media, all over anything they can to find out tidbits of information about you. Okay, they're calling family members. They're very thirsty for your energy. Okay, I just don't feel like you're interested though. Like like they already know. They know what came from. Look, this says past life, deja vu, repeated patterns, karmic lessons. I feel like you've learned your lesson. I don't feel like they've learned what they needed to yet, okay? And I feel like, maybe their ego is keeping them from acknowledging what they needed to learn from that connection, is some taking some accountability, I feel like at this point, right? Like if they're clinging so hard, like I feel like they're lacking accountability, because accountability would make them want to make some changes in their life so they don't repeat the same cycles. And they're not seeing that. They're just still seeing only you, right? That's all they're seeing. That is what they want. They're not awake. Okay, I do have longing right there. I just feel like you see it as karmic at this point, right? Look, exhaustion. I feel like the whole situation is exhausted. Okay, I feel like you're not interested. I think that this person thinks you're trying to play like games with them. I feel like they think that you're just trying to be mysterious, right? Like you're just, oh, they're just not doing this because of this, or like they really, I feel like for some of you guys have a little bit of like, delusion, and not healthy delulu, right? Not at all. Like, oh man. I feel like this, I feel like you were so drained from this situation. Look, oh my gosh, the negative mind right there. Negative mind. Hex, witchcraft, curse. They're not able to get over themselves, okay? It is the ego. It is the ego, okay? And it is, they have the mentality of everything happening to them, not for them. They're not seeing that they can still shift their life, right? This is a chance where they could shift and pivot, but that's not going to happen. Well, they're cycling in the mentalities that they are, right? Cycling in the karmic lessons that they are, right? Like, the definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing, expecting different results. Okay? And that's this person. They're living in that. They're living in that. They're living in turmoil. They're living, they're not. Like, they're hardly living. Okay? Look, obsession, infatuation. It says releasing. And I feel like that's what they need to be doing. They need to be working on how to release this connection, how to move on, how to let it go. But they're struggling. They're struggling because I feel like you gave them a sense of stability and a sense of home that they've never experienced with anybody else. You're a naturally loving, empathetic person, okay? They finally experienced that because they probably came from a line of people that didn't have your warmth. Let's put it like that, right? Like, I feel like they went through their own things. Like, I feel like their life with you, whatever it was, maybe y'all were married or whatever, it definitely showed them a different version of reality, but their ego made them believe that they were the one, it was because of all of their own doing. They believed they were all the good in the situation, and they took no responsibility for why the floor caved out, okay? So this is somebody who they don't take responsibility for anything. Very selfish individual. Very, very selfish individual. Why are we reading? Oh my goodness. Anything else we need to know? If you're a masculine and you're dealing with a feminine, they could pretend to be pregnant. I have bluff, and then you see the baby right there. So if it's a more recent thing to where they could do that, They might try to do a fake pregnancy or get pregnant by somebody else and say it's yours for real. To try to keep a situation. I don't know who that part's for. Obviously somebody who's watching this far. All right. Signs. I got Taurus, Cancer, Libra, Gemini, Pisces, Scorpio. All right, y'all.